The next setting option below reports is called units. So when I click on units, it's going to bring up this page here. This unit response profile I'll talk about in just a minute. I want to start with the creating groups and adding units to them. So out of the box, your Optic program is going to have 5 generic unit groups with 1 unit assigned to each. This way, if you want to just play around with the app, you have some units preloaded that you can do so just to kind of familiarize yourself. The way I can create a unit group is to go to this free text field here, and we'll just enter in custom. So at the bottom, it's going to add this. I have the option to reorder my groups with these arrows here, and this will change how they appear on the command board in the main layout. To add units to this group, give it a click, and it's going to take you to the next screen. At the top here, I can edit the name of that group if I choose. I can assign a specific color to that unit group. So if I want my engines to appear orange, or my custom group to appear orange, red, green, whatever, I have some default colors here. If I want a larger option of colors to choose from, I can simply click and bring up a whole palette to choose from. To enter units, I can simply go here and start entering them in. I can change the names of units here, delete them, and at the bottom here, I can actually delete an entire unit group. So I'm going to back out here. We can see that our color shows the color of the custom group we made, and all the way on the right, it shows how many units live in that group. So I'm going to actually exit out to the main command board and show you how this translates to that command board. So we will start an incident, and you can see my custom units are entered right here. Had I reordered them to a different area, they would have been in the appropriate slot within this group. So at this point, you've entered in unit groups, different types of units, and really it's up to you how far and wide you want to go. So you can put in mutual aid, you can put in support vehicles. There really is no limit to the type of units you can add to this units tab. The next thing we'll look at is the unit response profiles here. Primary response units are the core units that are most likely to respond to the majority of incidents in your jurisdiction. At this point in setup, you have already created unit groups and added in your individual units. The primary response unit setting helps simplify how Optic builds responses for different incident types. So, since many incident types share the same initial responding units, for example, a single family fire, multifamily fire, commercial fire, or high rise fire will often receive similar initial assignments, such as same battalions, engines, trucks, medics, etc. Instead of manually adding those same units to every incident type, you can simply designate them as primary response units here. Think of primary response units as the units that have the highest probability of responding to any incident in your community or nearby mutual aid areas. By default, every incident type in Optic automatically includes the primary response as part of its response, as you can see here. This means if you only configure primary response units and do nothing else, every incident type will automatically load those units when an incident begins. If you want to customize the response for a specific incident type, simply click on it, and from there you can add or remove units as needed, including removing the primary group if that does not apply. Primary response units also provide a fallback. If you start an incident without selecting an incident type, the program will still load your primary response units, so you at least have an initial set of units available on the command board. If an incident type is configured without primary response units, and no other units are selected, that incident will start with no units automatically loaded. Of course, at any time during an incident, you can also add additional units from your full unit library using the plus button on the command board itself. So let's take a look at primary response units in a real-world example. So on this profile, I have my primary units set with 21 units here. So you can see I have battalions, engines, trucks, squads, and medics all defaulted to primary response. What I don't have is staff chiefs, support vehicles, water rescue, hazmat, etc. So if I pick something like hazmat per se, you can see I have primary +6, which means I have my primary response automatically defaulted, plus I've attached 6 hazmat units. So when I go to load a hazmat incident, I get those hazmat units as part of my initial response. If I pick a single family fire, I get the units assigned to that. Or if I pick no incident type units only, again, it's going to load just my primary unit response. If, for example, my single family fire, I wanted no units, so no primary and no additional units. If that was the settings I desired for that type of incident, when I start single family fire, I will have no units load. But I always have access to my full library of units right here with the plus button. Let's do a quick recap. Primary response allows for quick designation of a primary set of units to respond to any or all incident types. In addition, it provides a fallback should no units be selected. If no primary response is created when configuring the app, all units will load. Incident types are fully customizable in terms of what units you wish to respond for that incident type. And lastly, regardless of initial units that load with the incident type, incident commanders will always have access to the entire library of units entered into Optic by utilizing the plus button on the command board.